People getting high while carrying a loaded gun. Does that sound like a good idea to you? Well, it soon could be a reality in Colorado. Activists there want marijuana users to be able to obtain a concealed carry gun permit. So, is this the right move? Guess for a fair and balanced debate in this campaign. Well, the organizer for the group challenging the ban, his name is Edgar Anton, and the president of the Colorado State Shooting Association, Tony Fabian. Gentlemen, thanks so much to be here. Edgar, you're the one leading the charge here to overturn this. Why is it so important for somebody who uses recreational marijuana, which obviously has become legalized there in Colorado, why should they also be able to carry a gun?
You know, for us, it's about equal rights for all gun owners. This is about individual liberty and restoring that individual liberty, taking it away from the federal government and giving it back to the people of Colorado.
All right, so Tony, what is the difference here between, say, somebody who gets high on Saturday night smoking some marijuana versus somebody who goes out and has a couple of beers and then has their concealed carry gun? What's the big difference here in terms of judgment?
Well, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm an attorney. And we're dealing from a legal standpoint here. In Colorado, we have a dichotomy in the law. There is a certain amount of marijuana that people can possess legally in Colorado, but under federal law, it's still illegal. And because of that dichotomy, we can't support this type of initiative. Again, our position is not so much opposition as it is lack of support, simply because the mission of the Colorado State Shooting Association is to provide shooting opportunities for law-abiding residents of Colorado. And of course, because of the federal ban, that runs afoul of that mission.
Edgar, I want to let you get in here on this in terms of the question of exactly how far do gun rights go, in the sense that the federal government has not yet legalized marijuana, and all of a sudden you're saying, okay, even though somebody is breaking a federal law, albeit not a state one, why should they be allowed to carry a concealed weapon? If they, for example, had been convicted of possession of cocaine, they can't get a concealed weapons permit.
Well, you're asking the wrong question. I think the question is why people like Mr. Fabian would be in favor of infringing upon that Second Amendment right. Last time I checked the Constitution, it said shall not infringe.
All right. So Tony, is there an argument here that since the voters of Colorado voted for concealed carry and allow that at the same time they voted for marijuana rights, that they should be the ones who decide who does and does not get to carry guns in their state?
Well, it's interesting that he cites the Constitution, because we have that provision in the Constitution called the Supremacy Clause. And we have a process for enacting laws. And under the Supremacy Clause, federal laws, when there is a conflict or a dichotomy, federal laws trump state laws. And until this dichotomy in the law is resolved, marijuana possession, at least under federal law, is still illegal. And therefore, we have a problem. The Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Bureau has basically come out several years ago when medical marijuana was made legal in Colorado. ATF came out and basically said this, even though it's being used for medicinal purpose, still runs afoul of federal prohibitions.
And obviously there's the big question still in terms of exactly how much enforcement the DEA, the ATF, is doing of those federal marijuana laws there in Missouri and also out in Washington State. We'll see if this makes the ballot in 2016 and then what the voters out there in Colorado decide. Edgar and Tony, thanks so much for joining us this early morning there in Denver.